Welcome to History Explained, where we illuminate the past to better understand our present. I'm your guide for this weekly dose of 7 days under 7 minutes. Today is Sunday, June 15, 2025. As we do every Tuesday, we explore historical figures, those individuals whose lives and legacies continue to inspire, challenge, and shape our collective journey. This week, from June 9th through June 15th, we reflect on major commemorations and timely reflections on the lives of transformative leaders, artists, and thinkers. We begin on June 13th, the birthday of W.B. Yeats, born in 1865. Events across Ireland celebrated the poet's 160th anniversary with readings, performances, and newly opened exhibits in Sligo and Dublin. Yeats wasn't just a literary icon, he was a nationalist, mystic, and public figure whose verse gave voice to a changing Ireland. His legacy continues to influence literature, politics, and the search for cultural identity in a modern global world. On June 14th, Che Guevara's birthday was marked with a mix of reverence and re-examination across Latin America. Born in 1928, Guevara remains one of the most polarizing figures of the 20th century, revolutionary icon to some, violent radical to others. In Argentina, Cuba, and beyond, student groups and political activists used the day to spark renewed debates on anti-imperialism, social justice, and the role of ideology in modern resistance movements. In the United States, June 11th marked the anniversary of President John F. Kennedy's landmark civil rights speech in 1963, where he declared racial equality a moral issue facing the nation. On its 62nd anniversary, the Kennedy Presidential Library hosted forums and retrospectives exploring JFK's evolving role in the civil rights movement. His address laid the groundwork for the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and remains a touchstone in discussions of presidential leadership and moral courage. June 12th brought renewed attention to Anne Frank, whose diary was first published in Dutch on this date in 1947. Observances in Amsterdam and across Europe paid tribute to her life and the millions of lives lost during the Holocaust. This year, the Anne Frank House launched a digital initiative connecting her words to global youth-led human rights campaigns, bridging the past and present through memory, resilience, and storytelling. Meanwhile, June 9th marked the death anniversary of Charles Dickens, who passed away in 1870. His social realism, vivid characters, and critiques of 19th-century inequality remain strikingly relevant. In London, theatrical tributes and walking tours of Dickensian landmarks attracted readers and scholars alike, many noting how his fiction continues to inform public debates on housing, education, and poverty. On June 10th, cultural institutions in South Asia recognized the birth of Deena Pathak, the acclaimed Indian stage and film actress, born in 1922. Best remembered for her work in Hindi cinema and her commitment to women's rights and social theater, Pathak's centennial was celebrated with retrospectives on how artists use performance to reflect and challenge the social order. Her legacy is part of a broader conversation on the role of women in shaping cultural consciousness. And finally, on June 15th, the world remembered King John of England, who sealed the Magna Carta in 1215. While not celebrated for his leadership, John's forced concession to barons laid the foundation for modern constitutional governance. This week, on its 810th anniversary, legal scholars and civic educators used the occasion to highlight the Charter's lasting impact on rule of law, civil liberties, and the idea that no one, including monarchs or modern presidents, is above the law. From rebels and reformers to poets and presidents, this week's commemorations remind us that the stories of extraordinary individuals are never fixed. They evolve with our questions, reflect our hopes, and challenge our assumptions. In remembering these figures, we learn not only who they were, but who we might yet become. Thank you for joining us for this week's edition of Historical Figures. If you found these reflections meaningful, subscribe and share the episode with someone who values lives that shaped history. Up next, our Wednesday episode, where we examine world events that altered the course of global affairs. Until then, I'm your guide for History Explained, where understanding yesterday is the key to navigating tomorrow.